Have you ever felt like you were doing everything right in your relationships, but somehow she still lost interest? She said she wanted a strong man. You tried to be one. She said she wanted honesty. You gave her that. So why, despite all your efforts, did she drift away? If you've ever asked yourself this, you're not alone. Most men are playing a game they don't even understand because they don't know the rules. But what if you had a map? A set of timeless principles that could help you see the hidden patterns of female behavior and master them? Stick with me until the end of this video, because these insights could change the way you handle your love life forever. If you want to stop chasing and start leading with confidence, self-control, and wisdom, then this is the video you can't afford to miss. And if you find this valuable, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. We're building a tribe of men who think deeply, act decisively, and live with purpose. Let's get into it. In the annals of Roman history, there was once a general, not Marcus Aurelius, but someone he observed closely. This general was respected, feared by his enemies, and loved by his men. But when it came to his personal life, especially with women, he was a mess. He chased, he pleaded, he obsessed over one woman who had mastered him completely. He once said, "I can conquer armies, but not her moods." Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic emperor, made a quiet note in his journal that night. The control you fail to gain over yourself will always be given away to others, even to those who do not deserve it. Let that sink in, because that is exactly where we begin. 1. The weakness of emotional reactivity. Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Can you remember the first time you really fell for someone? Not just a crush. I mean the kind of love where your stomach tightens when she walks in, where her voice feels like music and her laugh, man, her laugh makes you feel like life is good no matter what's going wrong. You remember that feeling? Now tell me this, how did it end? Was there a moment when everything began to slip away? A small argument, a distant look in her eyes, a sudden coldness where warmth used to live. You told yourself it was just stress, just a phase, but deep down you felt it. You were losing her, and maybe you reacted. You snapped. You texted too much. You asked, "What's wrong?" Again and again. You felt yourself spinning, and the more you tried to fix it, the more she pulled away. Does that sound familiar? If it does, I want you to know you're not weak. You're not stupid. You're just human. But this is where Stoicism, and Marcus Aurelius especially, becomes a lifeline. See, most men don't lose women because they're bad guys. They lose them because they don't know how to stay calm in chaos. Emotional reactivity, the panic, the neediness, the anger, these things make a woman feel unsafe. Not physically, but emotionally. She starts to feel like she has to lead, like you've become the child and she's the adult. And guess what? Women don't want to mother the man they love. Let me tell you a short story about a guy named Daniel. Daniel was like a lot of us, quiet, smart, thoughtful. He met this beautiful woman at work, Sophie. She was magnetic, charming, full of life. They clicked, fireworks, late-night talks, deep emotional connection. But Daniel had a problem. He didn't know how to handle uncertainty. When Sophie started pulling away a little, busy with work, less affectionate, he panicked. He started asking questions. "Are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong?" He sent paragraphs, called twice in a row, and every time she didn't answer right away, he felt a storm rise in his chest. Eventually, she broke things off. She said, "I just don't feel that spark anymore." But the truth? It wasn't the spark. It was the storm. If Daniel had taken a breath, just one breath, and remembered Marcus Aurelius's wisdom, you have power over your mind, not outside events, he might have saved that relationship, or at least he would have saved himself from unraveling. Stoicism isn't about being emotionless. It's about being emotionally sovereign. You feel everything, but you choose your reaction. The next time a woman pulls away, gets emotional, or tests your patience, ask yourself, am I responding like a king or reacting like a boy? Because she's not just testing your words, she's testing your presence. She's asking, can I lean on him when life gets hard? Will he collapse under pressure or stand firm? So now I turn it to you. Have you ever lost someone you loved because you lost control of your emotions? Have you ever wished you could rewind time and handle a situation with more calm, more strength? If you have, you're not alone. Drop a comment below. Tell your story if you're brave enough. This isn't just a channel, it's a brotherhood. And your story might just help someone else heal. 2. The weakness of seeking validation. Marcus Aurelius. It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinions than our own. Have you ever caught yourself changing your words, your tone, even your beliefs just to get someone to like you? Be honest. Have you ever been so scared to lose her that you stopped being you? Because I know what that feels like. I once knew a guy named Arjun. Actually, let me be real. That guy was me. I remember this girl, Nina. She was beautiful, confident, the kind of woman who walked into a room and made everyone look twice. I liked her immediately. But instead of being myself, I became what I thought she wanted. She liked indie music. Suddenly, I was quoting obscure bands I'd never even listened to. She hated politics. I kept my views to myself. She liked guys who gave her attention 24/7. I was always available. Every compliment from her felt like winning the lottery. Every silence felt like withdrawal. I needed her validation like oxygen. And the worst part? I thought I was being a good man. I thought I was being loving, devoted, romantic. But in truth, I was just scared. Scared of being alone. Scared she'd find someone better. Scared I wasn't enough as I was. And slowly, she began to pull away. Because here's what I didn't understand back then. When a woman feels like you're constantly seeking her approval, she begins to lose respect. Not because she's cruel, but because you are showing her you don't even respect yourself. Marcus Aurelius said it best. We care more about others' opinions than our own. Why? Why do we abandon ourselves just to win love that doesn't even feel real? Let me ask you something. Have you ever changed who you are just to make someone stay? Have you ever hidden parts of yourself just to avoid upsetting her? Think about that. Because here's the truth. The man who seeks her validation will always feel like he's not enough. But the man who validates himself, who knows who he is and stands in it, without apology, that man becomes magnetic. He becomes rare, and women notice that. Because he doesn't need her to love him, he chooses her. And that difference changes everything. If I could go back to those days with Nina, I wouldn't try harder to impress her. I'd show up as me, raw, honest, flawed, real. And if she stayed, it would be because she loved that man, not the mask I wore to keep her close. So here's your challenge. Stop asking, does she like me? Start asking, do I like the man I become when I'm with her? Because the moment you stop chasing approval, you start becoming a man who approves of himself. And that, my friend, is the most powerful version of you there is. 3. The weakness of overinvestment. Marcus Aurelius. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Your soul takes the color of your thoughts. Have you ever been in a relationship where she became your entire world? Where your whole day revolved around her messages, her moods, her presence? Where you were waiting by your phone like a schoolboy, hoping she'd text back, and when she didn't, your heart sank into your stomach? If you've been there just like I was, then I want you to listen closely, because this is the part of the story where most good men lose themselves. Let me tell you about a man named Karan. And to be honest, Karan is me again. There was a time when I believed that real love meant full surrender. That the more I gave, the more I proved how much I cared. So I gave time, energy, attention. Every plan I made, I ran it by her. Every goal I had, I put it on hold if she needed me. It felt romantic. It felt noble. But inside, I was shrinking. And the worst part? She began to pull away. Not because I did something wrong, but because I stopped being me. I became a shadow orbiting her sun. And when a man abandons his mission, when he places a woman at the center of his life, something shifts in her. She doesn't feel admiration. She feels pressure. She feels like she's carrying the emotional weight of both of you. And that is exhausting. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Your soul takes the color of your thoughts." And my soul back then had turned a shade of desperation. I couldn't think about my career, my purpose, or my discipline because my mind was consumed with her. Let me ask you, have you ever been in that place where you abandoned your dreams, skipped workouts, ignored your friends, all for the woman you thought would complete you? You didn't do it because you were weak. You did it because you cared too deeply. And no one ever told you that overinvestment is not love, it's obsession. A woman doesn't want to be your entire life. She wants to witness a man who already has a life. She wants to feel like she's a part of something powerful, not the only thing holding it up. So now I've made a shift. My mission comes first, not because I'm cold, but because I'm grounded. When you lead with purpose, when your energy isn't completely tied to her, she feels safe, she feels free, and most importantly, she respects you. So here's your reflection. What have you been neglecting? Because you're overinvested in a woman? Is it your discipline? Your goals? Your identity? Reclaim it. Because the man who stands rooted in purpose doesn't chase love. He attracts it. Or the weakness of inconsistency. Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one. When she first fell for you, what was it about you that made her heart race? Was it your confidence? Your calm strength? The way you made her laugh and feel safe? Like everything would be okay as long as you were around? Now fast forward. A few weeks, months, maybe a year in. Did you keep showing up as that man? Or did something fade? Be honest. Because I'll tell you right now, I've been that man who started strong and fizzled out. I remember this girl, Mira. We met at a friend's party. She had this wild, messy hair and a spark in her eye like she was halfway to trouble. I was on point that night. Confident, witty, cool. I had just started a new fitness routine. I was reading Stoic philosophy, I had goals. I was the kind of man I'd always wanted to be. And you know what? She noticed. We started talking, texting, going on long walks at midnight, sharing secrets. I made her feel safe, excited, grounded. But here's the painful part. As the weeks went by, I started slipping. I stopped working out consistently. I stopped reading. I got lazy with my purpose. I began checking in on her too much, worrying, second-guessing myself. The man she fell for was slowly disappearing. And one night I remember we were out at dinner. She looked at me, not with anger, but with something worse. Disappointment. She said, "You used to have this fire in your eyes. Where did it go?" That hurt, but it was true. And that's when I realized something Marcus Aurelius had been trying to teach me all along. Don't talk about what a good man is. Be one every day. Consistency is masculinity. A woman wants to feel your steady presence, not just on the first date, not just during the honeymoon phase, but always. She wants to know, when life gets messy, will he still be that man? Will he still wake up with purpose? Will he still lead with calm strength even when things get hard? Because if you break under pressure, she'll stop trusting your presence. Let me ask you this. Are you still showing up as the man she fell in love with? Or have you let it slip? Don't beat yourself up. We all fall off track. What matters now is that you get back on. Not for her, but for you. Because the truth is, the man who is consistent in his discipline, values, and self-respect, he doesn't chase love. Love chases him. And before you go, what I'm about to share next may trigger something inside you. It's about how your silence is being misinterpreted in ways that could destroy connection before you even realize it. 5. The weakness of silent suppression. Marcus Aurelius. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Have you ever sat across from the woman you love and felt like there was a wall between you? She's talking, smiling, but inside you're wrestling with something you can't explain. A fear, a doubt, a storm of emotions you don't even have words for. So what do? You go quiet. You nod, you say, "I'm fine." And deep down, you hope she can read your silence and understand what you're too proud or too scared to say. Sound familiar? Because it was my reality once too. Her name was Zara. We had a beautiful connection. She was nurturing, warm, and always wanted to understand me. But I had learned somewhere along the way that men don't talk about their emotions. Men don't cry. Men fix things. Men stay strong. So every time I felt something bubbling up, whether it was fear, insecurity, or sadness, I swallowed it down like poison. I thought that made me strong. I thought it made me stoic. But I was wrong. Because over time, Zara started pulling away, not because I said the wrong things, but because I stopped saying anything at all. She once looked at me with tears in her eyes and whispered, "I don't even know what's going on in your head anymore." And in that moment, I realized I was trying so hard to be strong by staying silent that I had become invisible to the woman who loved me. Marcus Aurelius taught us that we suffer not because of the world, but because of how we interpret it. And my silence, it wasn't strength. It was fear wrapped in pride. You see, there's a difference between emotional control and emotional suppression. Control is when you feel deeply, but respond wisely. Suppression is when you feel deeply and bury it like it's shameful. And women feel that difference. A man who never opens up slowly becomes emotionally unavailable, and a woman doesn't leave because he's broken. She leaves because she feels alone, even when he's right next to her. So let me ask you, have you ever lost someone because you didn't speak when it mattered most? Have you ever wished you could go back and say what was really in your heart? Don't let silence kill something that was meant to grow. You don't need to break down. You just need to be real. Because a true Stoic man doesn't avoid emotions, he honors them, channels them, and communicates them with calm strength. And that kind of man, he doesn't just attract love, he keeps it. Years after the general's emotional downfall, he returned from battle older, quieter, changed. He had lost the woman he once chased, and yet he no longer grieved. A young soldier asked him how he could seem so calm, so at peace. The general smiled and said, "Once I thought strength meant making others follow me. Now I know true strength means mastering myself." Marcus Aurelius had written a similar truth in his final years. No man is free who is not master of himself. If you want to take control of your love life, don't start with her. Start with you. Master your emotional responses. Stop chasing validation. Invest in your mission. Stay consistent in your values. Detach from what you can't control. These are the 5 weaknesses that steal your power. And these are the 5 principles that restore it. When you live like this, you don't need to control women. You attract the right ones and lose the wrong ones without stress. Because you are enough. Not because she says so, but because you know so. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.